Look at the setup. It's just trying to get yourself a little bit more kind of flatter across the top there, okay? Now your hat being on your head is going to obviously give you that impression your head's a little bit more tilted up, I think, but that's just the fact where your head's okay? But it's getting this angle now with your spine to be so, sorry, stay there.
So you could come down even more?
I would say for me that's enough today, because if you go, it always feels a bit strange there now anyway. If you go even forward, you'll be like, Jesus Christ, I'm touching the floor. So again, little bit of incremental change gradually over time, rather than sort of go from up here and then go whoop, straight down there. If we look at the putters now as they go back, okay, this putter now as it swings on the takeaway, you can see that club now, there's a little bit of curvature at the end there, but that's fine. But the most part of that, if that was a sort of 6 foot putter, that white line's not even moving at all, it's sort of going back nice and straight there. Whereas if we look at this one here now, see straight away, see that white line there. So if you go back to here now, that's a 6 foot putt, your putter's now aiming kind of over there, whereas this one here now,
it's not.
It's more in that line, okay? And less of this is obviously going to be a lot more consistent in terms of starting the ball on line. You increase the speed, there's going to be more wrist hinge, and that can also add loft to the club. So if you're starting to do this with the wrist, as your club comes in, rather than striking the putter with like sort of 2 degrees of loft, you're going to be doing that, almost adding loft to the putter, and the ball then jumps. So if the ball then jumps on these, not this green, but greens out there, you've got no chance. And then striking the ball then slightly inconsistently with a jumping, non-rolling ball, that ball's never going to get to the hole. Over 40 foot, when you're doing kind of a bit more of an arcing swing and your strike then gets a bit more affected, your distance controls to hit a ball, say in some ways 40, 45 feet out there, you've got to hit it 55-ish feet in your head, or give enough power for 55 foot, but then allow for a 10, 15% miss hit. You're happy to strike it well once, I'm 10 foot past. Or you miss hit it too much and don't have enough power, you're going to be 5 foot short. And then you're always then going to be struggling with that pace. If we can get a bit more over the ball, so it's almost a bit more like office stress balls. If you think about office stress balls, they just swing back on an axis here. If you tilt the sort of the frame, it's now going to go on an arc this way. So if your putter is swinging on this arc, over short putts, it's not moving too much, but enough to potentially miss. I'm not sure exactly what the numbers are, someone did tell me once, but how much offline your putter needs to be at impact to miss a 6 foot putt. It's fractions, to be fair. Surprising how small an amount needs to be to miss a putt. And again, if the greens are a little bit bobbly, once it gets off its intended line, it's never going to, it's just gone, isn't it? And then you get more frustrated at missing putts that you should have. If your long games, honestly, been not great the last 2 games, but the long game's been improving, hitting more greens and chipping close, and your chipping's really good, to be fair. And then you're missing sort of 4 or 5 footage. You're like, it's demoralising, isn't it? You've done the harbour to get to that close. Oh, chance of getting pars and birdies, and I missed it again. So just feel a little bit more here. So what you're trying to feel is the sort of back of your head there, and your collarbones a little bit more kind of, not your collarbones, so your back of your shoulder blades there, a little bit more in line. It will just help this now rock back and forth. The more upright this is, the more arcing you're going to create, okay? So a bit more of a tilt, so your elbows are not going to go outward, they're just going to sit in here, kind of, in some ways, how you sort of sit at the table, sort of having your dinner, I guess, just holding a, or sat, if I'm holding my iPad here, kind of in this position, that's kind of how I'm here, and if I lean forward, there's my putting setup. I wouldn't hold my iPad and be out here somewhere, would I? It just wouldn't naturally kind of make sense. So they're just nice and soft. Now the chest is a bit more down to the golf ball, and now this can then rock back. If you try and straighten your arms up, the body has to stand up, you see. And that's why I don't like people think, okay, get the arms nice and straight, get the pendulum, Get a straight arm on the club. I think just, A, you're locking this, and B, you're going to be too upright, so now you're going to be doing this.
I've always kept it all relaxed.
I think, to be fair, your short game's good. It was just nice to sort of see how it was going, just a couple of tweaks, obviously, with that putting there. But I think in terms of practice-wise, I would say once a week for 5 minutes, just put 2 balls on the outside and just, am I striking the, exactly, that's what I say, exactly. And to be fair, you can always do it with them, actually, I'll challenge you, got then, who can have the best stroke then for whatever it may be. Okay, mate?
Brilliant.
Good.